Well, live from the THV 11 studio, this sunny week could conclude with rainfall. Our weather impact team has been keeping an eye on that. Meteorologist Tracy Bean has the newest forecast models. Tracy, what can you tell us?
Well, today is going to be a warmer, sunny, and a bit of a windy day. I'm sure you've already noticed that. 72 out in central Arkansas right now. A whole bunch of 70s. It is so nice out there again. The wind is whipping around. We've even got a few 80s sticking around the forecast. Now, those winds, as I talked about, sustained around 15. We're seeing some gusts upwards of 26 miles per hour. And in northern Arkansas, they're starting to see that push up even a little bit more. For your hour-by-hour forecast, plenty of sunshine today. Again, those southerly winds just warming us up today, also bringing in a little bit more moisture that we're going to be seeing a few more clouds as we're heading into the weekend and setting up for potential rain. But it's warming us up into, again, those lower to mid 80s today, and those winds will start to settle down just a little bit. Still be a little windy later, but you'll see those clouds start to kick in as well. Again, 83 in central Arkansas, 80s to our north, and then we are seeing those mid to upper 80s in southern Arkansas. Again, just partly sunny and breezy. We'll see a few more clouds, but those rain chances will continue to increase, unfortunately, as we are heading into Easter weekend, and that has the potential for some severe weather at times. So stay with me. We're going to talk a little bit more about those rain chances. Could we see flooding, and what exactly can we expect for Easter Sunday? I'll let you know here in just a few minutes.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Well, your Arkansas legislature has concluded the 95th General Assembly. With the stroke of her pen, Governor Sarah Sanders signed the final round of bills into law, one of which being House Bill 1150. It's one that has proven to be controversial as it regulates pharmacy benefit managers. After weeks of back and forth, it advanced and will now become law. That means going forward, PBMs are prohibited from having a pharmacy license and pharmacy simultaneously. They will have to choose one or the other. Now, corporate giants have repeatedly expressed dissatisfaction over that bill. CBS sent our news team a statement. In it, they claim the new law will result in increased spending for drug prescriptions. Additionally, they say hundreds of store jobs will be lost. Governor Sanders, however, counted the bill as a win for the state.
For too long, our government has been enslaved to powerful special interests. Not anymore. We do not work for them. We work for the people of Arkansas. In this session, we delivered.
The bill had received bipartisan support. However, Democratic leaders addressed their own viewpoints as the session concluded.
This session will be remembered for out-of-control spending on misguided policies, power grabs away from the people of Arkansas, and divisive national politics continuing to seep into our state.
Well, updates are still being made to the legislature's website. However, over 700 new laws will take effect. Governor Sanders did strike down some proposed pieces of law. House Bill 1889 would have allowed marijuana dispensaries to make deliveries. Additionally, they would have been able to operate drive-through windows. Sanders objected that notion, her reason being what she called expanded access for, quote, usable marijuana, end quote. Well, we turn now to a mother's story after learning her 4-year-old daughter wandered off from her daycare. Kylie Norwood told us the call she got on Monday was a shock. She had dropped off her daughter, Mila, at First Methodist Church Child Development Center in Benton. Later on, her daughter was found nearly a block down the street at a funeral home. We got the incident report, and it revealed that 2 women had saw the child as they were driving. After notifying police, the child was picked up and returned to the daycare. Mila is safe. However, her mom says it could have turned out much worse.
All I could think was, is my daughter okay? Who did she approach on the street? She could have been hit by a car. She could have been kidnapped. She could have been lost in the woods or something. And had we not found her, I just think about all the what ifs.
The Child Development Center sent us a statement. They called the situation saddening. The center continues by acknowledging their efforts to cooperate with authorities. Additionally, they add that they are working to, quote, ensure all precautions have been taken to keep our children safe, end quote. Well, we have more details on a citywide park curfew implemented in Pine Bluff. According to police, violent threats had been circulating online. This as Central Arkansas remains on high alert days after a park shooting in Conway. For that reason, Pine Bluff is limiting park access. It will be strictly enforced, and the Parks and Recreation Department say it's a proactive response. The community, though, feels different.
We've had some issues in the past, off and on, but as the time changed, and even what recently happened in Conway, it kind of makes us more aware of where we're at.
Where are the children going? Where do we get the recreation from? What's the alternative? What is going to be replaced by?
Well, this doesn't mean parks will close entirely. They'll be open from 7 to 8, but once they're closed, no one is allowed on the property. Anyone wanting to host large events at city parks must first go through Parks and Rec. Meanwhile, the THV 11 News team is working with the limited details from Sunday's shooting in Conway. To ensure accuracy, we only report what investigators have confirmed. Our efforts to learn more, however, have not ceased. We requested a copy of all permit applications issued the days prior to the shooting. We are waiting to receive those permits. Police are working several leads, none of which have led to arrests. Our team is hard at work to learn more about the case, and you will have new details once we can accurately report them. Now, something to think about. The Arkansas farm industry is being dealt a great challenge. Flooding from earlier this month has cost local farmers millions in crop damage. This information is all according to experts with the University of Arkansas Division of Agriculture. Majority of planted crops are flooded, and that means most of them are ruined completely and would need to be replanted. Among the worst hit is rice. That alone resulted in $20 million worth of loss. Corn is also on that list. The number is expected to grow. The Pulaski County Special School District has a set of shoes to fill. The district is actively searching for its next superintendent. Its former Dr. Charles McNulty resigned in January. Dr. Jerry Guess, who was chosen as interim. However, the district is looking for a permanent replacement. Now, the district is planning to live stream that meeting today. Will start at 5:30 right after our evening broadcast. You can watch on the PCSSD website. Another meeting will be held on Monday if needed. Well, tariffs talk has taken a spot atop of President Trump's agenda. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell expressed concern over the uncertainty of a new policy. Additionally, California has filed a lawsuit against the White House. President Trump, however, is defending his stance. Natalie Brand reports from Washington, D.C.
President Trump met with Italy's prime minister at the White House today to discuss tariffs. The president has been touting negotiations with trading partners and attacking Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell for highlighting the risk and uncertainty around the policy.
The level of tariff increases announced so far is significantly larger than anticipated, and the same is likely to be true of the economic effects.
Powell says that could include higher inflation, slower growth, and higher unemployment. Though he didn't use the term, those factors raise concern about stagflation.
It's a difficult place for central banks, to be in.
President Trump on Truth Social slammed Powell's report as wrong, saying the Fed chair's termination can't come fast enough. Powell's term as chair expires in 2026.
The Trump administration is also facing a new lawsuit over tariffs from California. The suit contends the president lacks the authority to unilaterally impose tariffs.
No state is poised to lose more than the state of California.
Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom argues his state, the world's fifth largest economy with industries from tech to agriculture, stands to lose billions. The White House continues to defend its tariff policy, calling it a, quote, historic effort to address the national emergency of a persistent trade deficit. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Well, a child went missing in the Arizona desert and a massive search was underway. How man's best friend saved the day coming up.
It's warmer and windy for your Thursday, and we've got some rain headed our way. Stay with me. We're going to talk here in just a few minutes about how that could impact your Easter weekend.